Welcome to Terrifying Tales, a journey into the darkest corners of true crime. Ready for chilling stories that freeze your blood and race your heart? Brace yourself. Are you brave enough to join us? Remember, there's no turning back. We're about to dive into humanity's darkest deeds. Beneath the veneer of everyday life, a dark undercurrent exists. This is the realm of true crime, a chilling landscape that captivates the brave and the curious alike. It is here we dare to tread on a journey through three of the most horrifying murders ever documented. We won't unveil their dreadful specifics yet, but rest assured, they're steeped in a darkness that shakes the very foundations of human nature. So steel yourselves, for we are about to prepare to delve into the abyss of humanity's darkest deeds. Our debut chronicle of horror emerges from a deceptive haven of peace. This was not just any neighborhood, but a cloaked embodiment of serenity, tranquility, and harmony, enshrouded deceptively within the monotonous expanse of suburbia. A landscape that felt more akin to an artist's haunted dream, where the sun seemed to glare with an ominous intensity, casting an eerie, otherworldly glow over the eerily perfect lawns and disturbingly orderly houses. It was a realm where perfection took on an uncanny aspect. White picket fences stood like silent sentinels over gardens that bloomed too perfectly, and where the angelic symphony of birdsong composed a deceptive hymn of peace. In this pseudo-Eden, innocence was masqueraded by children, their laughter an unsettling melody that echoed through the tomb-like silence of the streets, bouncing off the sterile whitewashed walls of the houses. Their faces were unnerving portraits of joy, untouched by fear or worry. The neighborhood was an orchestrated symphony of cheerfulness, a forced harmony that gave way to an undercurrent of eeriness. Families appeared to flourish here, their bonds seemingly strengthened by a forced trust, understanding, and love. The community was a facade of unity, a chapter ripped off from the book of an eerie utopia where every sentence ended with a full stop of tension and unease. However, as the age-old adage reminds us, every rose has its thorns. One petrifying evening, the unsettling laughter of children was choked, the dread-laden atmosphere was shattered, and the illusion of peace grotesquely mutilated. The night air that once held a deceptive tranquility was violated by an act of violence so heinous that it threatened to rip apart the very fabric of reality. This dwelling, a former beacon of safety, was horrifically transformed into a brutal theatre of horror. Its walls, once silent observers of, were now unwilling spectators to a gruesome performance of savagery. The very air within recoiled in terror, shuddering away from the horrifying spectacle that had been unveiled. Rooms that once echoed with contrived love and laughter now resonated with an oppressive silence, a grim testament to the monstrous potential that lurks within every human soul. Forensic teams descended upon the scene, methodically scouring every inch, sifting through the remnants of a life violently extinguished. The crime scene narrated a chilling tale of terror, articulated through the brutal strokes of violence. Each piece of evidence emitted a deafening scream of silence, a desperate plea for justice. Yet the identity of the perpetrator remained veiled in mystery. The faceless phantom of this appalling act remained concealed. The neighborhood, once full of artificial life, was now ensnared in a tangible shroud of horror. Fear gnawed relentlessly at every heart, extinguishing the echoes of laughter with a terrifying silence. The innocent games of children were now replaced by hushed whispers of dread, the once harmonious community disrupted by the cacophony of fear. This horrific act shattered the neighborhood's simulated peace, sowing seeds of terror in its once idyllic neighborhood forever tainted, its innocence lost in the abyss of fear and uncertainty. The laughter which once filled the air was replaced with silence, the tranquility supplanted with a lingering, gnawing fear. As the days bled into weeks and weeks into months, only one thing remained certain. The darkness of the human soul had unleashed itself, leaving behind a chilling tale of horror, forever etched in the annals of this seemingly peaceful neighborhood. Our imminent descent into the abyss of utter darkness propels us to an unassuming city. This city, cloaked in innocence, conceals beneath its facade of normalcy a bone-chilling tale that could make the stoutest of hearts quiver. Its cobbled alleyways and bustling bazaars show no hint of the impending horror. The city, with its vibrant populace and rich past, stands in stark contrast to the spine-tingling saga about to be unravelled. In this city, the sinister hourglass tips over, immersing us in a tale drenched in pure horror. A narrative that curdles the blood, of dread so profound and fear so palpable, a tale that is horrifying in its sheer savagery. The tale of a second murder, one that casts an even darker shadow over the city's soul, one that pushes the limits of human atrocity. The executor of this vile act is stone cold, a merciless monster devoid of any semblance of human empathy. This is a villain who spins a web of terror, each calculated move etching an indelible scar on the city's psyche. Their heart pulsates not with warmth and affection, but with a glacial intent that numbs the soul. This is a villain not born of circumstance or desperation, but of pure, unadulterated malevolence. The crime scene, a grotesque tableau, serves as a harsh reminder of the monstrousness of the act. It shakes even the most hardened investigators to their core, their eyes widened in disbelief, their minds brimming with a dread so overwhelming it's suffocating. The scene sketches a portrait of terror, a still life that strikes fear into the hearts of the bravest. Each cryptic clue left behind, each eerie trace of the villain's presence amplifies the chilling narrative. Investigators, steeled by their experience, find themselves grappling to assemble the gruesome jigsaw. They seek answers in the ghastly remnants of the act, their resolve stoked by the flaming desire for justice. As the investigation deepens, the concluding chapter of this macabre saga remains swathed in darkness. It lurks in the periphery, an apparition of the unknown that haunts the city. Every ticking moment, every unanswered question adds another layer to the enigma. And as the city fears its next breath, the chilling grip of uncertainty casts a long, terrifying shadow. The horror that unravels in this unassuming city is a blood-curdling testament to the malevolence that skulks in the shadows. It is a grim warning, shedding light on the potential darkness dwelling in the most unsuspecting corners. It is a story that makes us question the abyss of human cruelty and shakes our faith in humanity. The final chapter of this hellish saga remains enshrouded in darkness, keeping us on the edge, gasping for breath, as we await the unveiling of this horrifying testament to the evil that lurks in the shadows. Our voyage into the soul-crushing blackness ends at a place beyond the mortal capacity to fathom. This cryptic haven, concealed within the icy cloak of a forgotten hamlet, carries a hateful malevolence that shatters human understanding. A deceptive calm shrouds the village, locked in a timeless freeze, as though hiding an unspeakable horror beneath its ordinary veneer. This chilling playground, where the innocuous and the nightmarish interweave, hides an abhorrent truth within its shadowy crevices. Here, under the pretense of normal existence, a malevolent undercurrent subtly and eerily unsettles the balance. The tenuous boundaries separating the ordinary from the unspeakable blur, birthing a blood-curdling story of savagery and depravity. A monstrous crime brutally shatters the facade of peace the town clings onto. A third killing, more grotesque than the ones before, rocks the very foundation of this close-knit community. This horrendous deed plunges us deeper into the abyss of terror. The brazenness of the crime, the callous dismissal of societal norms, sends waves of paralyzing fear through the town. An icy wind sweeps the abandoned streets, carrying the echoes of suppressed sobs and the terrified gasps of a community blindsided. The perpetrator, with morbid precision, implants a terror that rattles the villagers' belief in their own security. Each meticulously executed detail sends waves of dread coursing through our veins. The killer's method, exposed in the gruesome specifics, constructs a petrifying canvas of terror. This is not an average psychopath, but a manipulative maestro, directing the town's fear like a puppeteer. Delving deeper into the craftiness of the concealed beast, hiding in the shadows becomes chillingly clear. Each crime scene stands as a grisly testament to this faceless horror's ingenuity. Every subsequent murder, more audacious than the last, unveils a mind deeply intertwined with the macabre and the gruesome. Piece by piece, the fragments of this horrifying jigsaw fall into place, drawing a grotesque image of dread. However, as we inch closer to the truth, the ultimate revelation of this tale remains shrouded in enigma. A sadistic game, a psychological maneuver, a relentless wheel of terror that keeps us teetering the edge. Will the identity of this killer surface? Will justice triumph? The questions loom in the atmosphere, smothering and suffocating, laden with dread and anticipation. Each tick-tock of the town's clock, every murmur in the desolate night, serves as a ghostly reminder of the omnipresent terror that engulfs the town. The community waits, gasping for breath, for the end of this horrifying ordeal, an unthinkable act of evil, a terrifying unearthing, a brutal reminder of the wicked forces lurking among us. A predator skulks in the shadows, a sinister phantom that invades our nightmares, a reality that threatens to shatter the brittle tranquility of this town. This is not just a town, but a stage where terror steals the spotlight, and fear performs a hair-raising spectacle. The final stop of our journey into the abyss is a place too terrifying to imagine, where the common conceals the monstrous. A town where the grim reality is far more dread-inducing than the blackest of horrors. Emerging from the shadows of these horrifying tales, we find ourselves in the cold light of reality. The chilling nature of these crimes, each more bone-chilling than the last, leaves us with a sense of dread that clings to our souls, a nightmarish echo that refuses to fade. Their impact, like a malignant tumor, spreads across the communities, the nations, and the world at large. Each brutal act, each sinister deed, each horrific crime leaves a trail of devastation in its wake. The ripples of fear, of paranoia, of shattered security radiate outwards, staining the fabric of our society with their ominous imprint. These crimes remind us of the terrifying potential for evil that lurks within humanity. The unsettling truth that beneath the veneer of civilization, beneath our codes of conduct and morality, lies a darkness waiting for a chance to emerge. A darkness that can drive a person to commit acts of unspeakable brutality, to inflict terror and pain without remorse, to shatter lives and communities with chilling precision. However, it is not just the gruesome acts themselves that haunt our consciousness. It's the lingering aftermath, the haunted eyes of the survivors, the empty chairs at family dinners, the quiet whispers in the streets. The scars left behind by these monstrous deeds are a testament to the enduring impact of fear, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. As we conclude this journey into the abyss, into the heart of darkness, we are left with a chilling realization. The darkness is closer than we think, lurking in the shadows, waiting for a chance to strike. And so we must remain vigilant, for the faceless terror can emerge from the most unlikely of places, at the most unexpected of times. Remember, the darkness is always closer than you think. It is up to us to shine a light into those shadows, to expose the monsters that lurk within, and to ensure that justice is served. Because in the battle between light and darkness, it is the light that must prevail. We hope you found our journey into the heart of darkness both chilling and enlightening. If you want to explore more of these terrifying tales with us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our community of truth seekers. If this video sparked your interest or sent chills down your spine, click the like button below. We also invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments section. Your input is invaluable as we delve deeper into the abyss of these chilling crimes. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, the darkness is always closer than you think.